So, today, we're going to talk about the architecture of intimacy. You know, what it really takes to build that genuine connection and that electric tension that makes relationships so exciting. And the thing is, it's not about luck, it's about intentional design. Let's dive in. Let's start with a really big question. What actually separates sweet, genuine romance from that raw, almost tangible sexual tension? I mean, they're definitely connected, but they are not the same thing. And figuring out that difference, that's the first step to getting both right. Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. First up, we'll look at setting the stage. Then, we're going to focus on how to build genuine romance. And finally, we'll get into the art of pacing, which, let me tell you, is where the real magic happens. All right, let's jump right into section 1, setting the stage. Because the journey towards intimacy, well, it often starts way before you even say a single word. It really begins with the environment you create. You know, it all starts with respect for your space. A clean home, a tidy car, and especially a fresh, clean bed. These things send a really powerful message. They show you care, and they make your partner feel valued and, maybe most importantly, comfortable. So how do you actually craft that romantic atmosphere? Well, it really boils down to a few simple but powerful steps. First, adjust the lighting. Think dim, soft light. It's universally intimate. Then use sound. Some quiet light music, maybe some jazz, can instantly shift the entire mood. And finally, have some simple refreshments ready. A little wine, some grapes, or chocolate. They're like props that just make the whole experience better. Okay, that brings us to our second section, building genuine romance. Now, this part is absolutely vital because real sustainable sexual attention, it needs a genuine romantic connection to stand on. It's the foundation for everything that comes next. Just take a look at the difference in the types of dates you can choose. On one side, you have connection-building activities like dinner or stargazing. These are all about conversation. On the other side, you have distracting dates, like concerts or baseball games. They're fun, for sure, but the focus is on the event, not on each other. So if you want to build romance, you have to prioritize connection.
Honestly, it's pretty simple. Effort equals romance. When you dress up or pick a really special spot, it's not just about the action itself. It's about creating a sense of occasion. You're sending a clear signal that says, hey, this time with you really matters to me. And that feeling, that's where intimacy really starts to grow.
And this brings us to our final section, which is where everything we've talked about really comes together, the art of pacing. This is all about choreographing physical intimacy, and it's way less about raw passion and much more about control, patience, and deliberate action. See, the goal here isn't to just act like a sexual beast, rushing from one step to the next. The real art is in exercising control. It's about moving from that raw impulse to clear intention. That mindset shift is absolutely crucial. So a core strategy here is what's called the pull-back technique. And it's this incredibly powerful method where you alternate between moments of intense intimacy and brief little separations. It works so well because it creates this open loop in your partner's mind. By just pausing the intimacy instead of ending it, you heighten their desire to see it through, and pretty soon, they're the one initiating the next move. So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, it's a simple 4-step cycle. You kiss for just a few moments, and then you gently pull back. In that little bit of space, you reconnect with a soft word or a gentle touch, maybe stroking their hair, and then you repeat it. It's this dance of advance and retreat that builds incredible tension. And within that cycle, being a skillful kisser, well, that adds a whole other layer. This means varying your style to keep things interesting, and, this is important, taking breaks. Giving your partner a moment to come up for air isn't a disruption at all. It's an amplifier. It gives them a second to actually feel the desire that's building inside them. And this idea of pacing, it's just as crucial when it comes to touch. You don't rush it. You start slow, maybe a light graze of the lips, a touch on the face. Then you build that intimacy by caressing their arms or the back of their neck. And only after that foundation of tension is built do you progress to more sensual areas. It's really, really crucial to remember that this isn't some checklist for a single night. Building meaningful sexual tension is a process. It often unfolds over several dates as you build up that romance and trust. In this case, patience is absolutely part of the art. So that leaves us with one final question.
When it comes to intimacy, are you going to be a beast, just driven by pure impulse? Or are you going to be an artist, carefully and deliberately creating something beautiful and full of tension? The choice, ultimately, is